Thank you so much for that update. That's ENCA's Lindogu Tlekulu talking to us there about the shooting at Edenvale High School in Ekurhuleni. To the story now, suspended Deputy National Director of Public Prosecutions, Nomgcobo Jiba, took to the stand at the Mokgoro inquiry. Jiba has told the inquiry that she's faced the worst form of attacks from colleagues in the NPA. ENCA's Govan Whittles has been following that inquiry, and he joins me now in studio. So it's becoming a pattern or a theme of sorts, Govan, that, you know, each person that's testifying there, well, a lot of the people who've testified will have a few cases that they identify that as soon as I started working on this case or made decisions on this case, trouble then started for me. In the case of Nomgcobo Jiba, trouble came in the form of the Johan Boysen and the Kato Mena so-called death squad case. What did she say? What troubles did that bring about for her?
Well, Nomgcobo Jiba certainly made it known that she still believes that the death of 28 people by the Kato Mena Violent Crimes Unit is something that the unit should answer for. And if we go by what Nomgcobo Jiba said today, it would seem she believes that Johan Boysen still has a case to answer for those racketeering charges. She basically took the inquiry through her process, exactly what she considered before making the decisions. And then she talked about how frustrated she was when, after it all, she was the one that was charged with fraud and perjury when she was expecting racketeering charges to be brought against Johan Boysen. But she also started with something quite unusual. It's something that we haven't seen from any of the other witnesses, and it's an opening statement. Nomgcobo Jiba here seemingly well aware that this would be her first time speaking out in public, making use of the opportunity that the media was there, and saying that she wanted to place a few things on record that she hasn't been able to do since she took up her position at the NPA. Took about 5 minutes, but the gist of it was that she felt aggrieved by the actions of her fellow prosecutors, specifically Willie Hofmeyer and Glynis Breitenbach, and she threw around words such as betrayed. She said that there was resentment in the NPA towards her because she had been elevated to the position of deputy NDPP, but she also had a lot more to say about how she was treated at the NPA. Let's have a look at what she said.
I was amazed by what I heard from Ferreira. I was extremely disappointed and hurt that the institution found it so easy to turn tables, charge me for doing my job, and leave those that are supposed to go and answer for the wrong acts that they have committed.
So in just a moment, I want us to turn to the cross-examination of Lawrence Mrwebi, which also had some interesting developments on its own. But before we do that, the other case that Nomgcobo Jiba spoke at length about is the Richard Mdluli case. In the Johan Boysen case, it had to do with approving the prosecution. In the case of Richard Mdluli, it had to do with the decision to withdraw the charges. What did she say, in essence, about that?
Her first point that she wanted to make is that she doesn't know Richard Mdluli and is not friends with Richard Mdluli. And she says that she couldn't understand why they were being placed together in the same WhatsApp group, as it were. But in that instance, Nomgcobo Jiba basically absolving herself, saying that she had nothing to do with those decisions, also to withdraw the charges. They were decisions taken by Mrwebi, and also passing comments saying that she didn't believe that Mrwebi was unfit for office, that he had done a sterling job, in a sense, backing up his decision to withdraw those charges against Richard Mdluli, but at the same time distancing herself from the decision that was taken. And it was in a very emotional period of leading evidence. There was also a point where she almost broke into tears and had to ask for an adjournment, and that was when she was talking about the possible implications of her leaving the NPA. You could tell that when she started talking about the possibility of this inquiry, finding that she was unfit, that it all became a little bit too emotional, and she had to call for a break.
And of course, she was asked about the allegations made by Angelo Agrizzi at the other commission that's been ongoing.
Yeah, that's right. So she basically denied those allegations by Angelo Agrizi. She went into much more detail, saying that I haven't received money from Agrizi, not from Linda MT, not from Gavin Watson, not from anyone. And she says that somewhere, somehow, somebody out there must have been receiving money and using my name for it. But it definitely wasn't me, and saying the only money that I got was in my bank account.
Interesting. Lastly then, Govan, let's talk about the cross-examination of Lawrence Mokgoro. A key admission coming through from that. What was that?
Right. So Lawrence Mokgoro here admitting that the time at which the proclamation was gazetted, employing him as the Special Director of Public Prosecutions, when he was given custodianship of the Special Commercialized Crimes Unit. At that time, that was only after he had received representations from Richard Mdluli and sent a letter to Richard Mdluli's lawyers saying that I've decided to withdraw the case. And the admission is important because he was not allowed to receive representations from Richard Mdluli without being the Special Director of Public Prosecutions. It's something that evidence leader advocate Nazreen Bauer pointed out to him using a roundabout way, and she secured an admission, and I think after he realized it, he tried to backtrack a little. But let's have a look at that exchange.
The proposition was that if the Gazette which gave you your powers as a Special Director came out on the 25th of November, which conferred your powers, then strictly speaking, the letter from the Minister of Justice dated 7th of November conferring you the powers as of the 1st of November is as a matter of law not correct.
Yes, correct. I could not legally take a decision before then.
You could not legally do anything which is contained in that Gazette before then.
I'm not so sure about that.
Why are you not so sure about that?
I was appointed, I received a letter, that letter of appointment to me just was also legal authority as far as I was concerned at the time.
As a matter of law, who appoints special directors? The President or the Minister?
The President.
So the natural conclusion of that is the Minister can't have the power to confer any obligations on you.
All right, interesting testimony coming through there. Govan, thank you so much. That's ENCA's Govan Whittles.